Righto. We kind of joked that I look like a silverback gorilla. Alright, welcome back everyone. Today, just out at the local, and I'm going to have a bit of a chat with you about bike sizing, and I'm going to attempt to do that while I'm riding down the trails, which has not always gone that well for me, but we'll give it a go. So recently, I decided to size up to an extra large frame, and it's something I've been thinking about doing for a really long time, and I'll go through, I guess, reasons for doing so, and then also how I'm finding it initially. I am planning to do a very in-depth video on kind of why I chose this exact frame and geometry comparisons and yeah, lots of bro science, but that particular video will take a lot of effort, so it's probably not going to be out anytime soon. Plus it'd be good to get a bit more time on the bike before I do that. I'll also do an in-depth bike check at some point, but I am waiting on a few more parts to fully finish it off. And just another thing, I'm trying to boost likes on my videos, so if you're watching this, if you enjoy the video, or if you just like my content in general, I'd love if you just give the little thumbs up. Obviously, if you're not subscribed, you like the channel, you know what to do with that as well. All right, let's get into it. First track, and I did see a big group of kids go down. And I can still hear them, so I suspect they're at the first drops. Yeah, just try not to... Hello. Yeah, try not to crash into anyone. Righto. This corner's so sketchy at the moment. Oh, loose rock. Bottom down on that double drop. Then at the rear, I think that's okay. Woo. Oh boy. Wow, it feels really good down there. Right, so there is the bike. Santa Cruz Mega Tower, size extra large, which is a 495mm reach, and a wheelbase of nearly 1300 mils. We'll talk about that in a minute. Probably the biggest geometry difference is actually the stack height, which I don't know off the top of my head. I think it's around 657, which is 20 mil higher than my Rocky Mountain. And as it turns out, that's exactly what I've been missing all this time. There's a trail here somewhere. How cool. So yeah, a bit about myself. I am 6 foot tall, 183 centimeters, which puts me on the cusp of large and extra large in most brands. And sizing up's something I've been considering and aware of for a really long time, because almost always when I get photos of myself on a bike, any of the bikes that I've owned, I just look really large on them. We kind of joke that I look like a silverback gorilla. Oh, this shoot's probably a bit sketchy. Oh, where's the trail? A lot of the advice sort of says, if you've got a body type like mine, where you've got long legs for your height, the advice from a lot of brands, including Santa Cruz, is if that's your body type, you should size down. And I've seen that expanded on to say, ideally you find a bike with shorter reach, but a high stack. And that last part, I'm not sure about the first part, but that last part I found to be quite important, because when I've been riding bikes with like an average large size stack, I have had to really raise the handlebars up with riser bars and stem spacers just to be comfortable. And that meant also when I stand up on the bike, so when I'm descending, that I had to reach a long way down to the handlebars. Again, put a fair bit of pressure on my hands and just gave that kind of gorilla on a bike aesthetic. There's garbage everywhere on this track from the back burning. Oh, I can't see anything. That's sweat on my sunnies from ducking under that tree. So getting the appropriate bar height was one thing. The other thing, which really got me thinking about it lately, was when I built my tall boy up. On that bike, I just have a lot of seat posts showing. I started looking around at how other people have their saddle and how much seat post they've got sticking out. No one has that much seat post sticking out. So I started to look around for bikes with slightly more seat post, slightly higher stack, and then I really didn't want to go too far in reach. So the Santa Cruz was a really obvious choice, not just because it was stocked by my local bike store or because I bought a tall boy and I really liked the feel of the bike and the suspension and all the frame details, but Santa Cruz do an extra size compared to most. So that means their large is a smaller large, and the extra large sort of fits in the spot between large and extra large in most brands. Right, if you know this track, you'll understand I'm probably not going to do a lot of talking on it. Oh! Felt like my cleat had pulled out of the shoe then. Oh, that shoe is problematic. Oh. A little bit sketchy. Sort of second guess the speed then. But yeah, keep almost unclipping. Take 3. All right, give it a rest for today. It's got a bit squirrely in the corner. First impressions of sizing up once I jumped on this bike and rode it around. It does feel like a lot of bike. You can definitely feel, or I can definitely feel, that it's got a longer front center than the bikes I have been riding. However, first climb, first ride out at Nara, I pulled into the climb, started pedaling up, and it just felt like it fit me better than any bike has ever fit me before. There's probably an elephant in the room here, and something I'm sure people will be wondering, which is, actually there's probably 3 elephants in the room, but that's a pretty crowded room, so we'll start with the first one. There is a trend broadly for pro riders to size down. So Richie Rude rides a medium, Jack Moyer, he's been known to ride smalls, and the guys on Pivot, Matt Walker, Eddie Masters, they're running mediums. What I think about that is I'm in fact not an EWS pro rider. I'm sure that they back-to-back all of this stuff and they're riding what is overall the fastest bike for them. The tracks that they're riding, they're much tighter than my average track, and they're riding them much faster than I could ever ride a track like that. So I can see the benefits of a shorter wheelbase bike if you're an excellent rider already. But as I'm a moderate rider, the extra stability of a long wheelbase is actually really nice. And then I also think that the fastest bike for you is the one that you're most comfortable on. And I'm a lot more comfortable on this than any bike before. Okay, let's take on a few corners. Tightest corner in Wani, just done. Ooh, it's getting narrow through there. So people are probably wondering about the Rocky Mountain. Why didn't I just get an extra large in that? Kind of a few reasons. That bike is probably going to be replaced next year, I'd say. So I didn't really want to get a new bike that was going to get super seat. And then really enjoying the VPP linkage after a lot of years on horse link. There's pros and cons to both. But yeah, feels really dialed for me as a heavier rider. And then the Mega's got a swap box as well. Right, need to concentrate for this bit. Oh, someone's been sweeping it, I think. Yeah, that's had a sweep. So yeah, just like preferences have slightly changed when I'm considering new bikes these days compared to when I bought that one. Plus the Rockies are they're a little bit hard to get your hands on here in New South Wales. There's not many stockists. It's much easier for me just to head up to Cyclery Studio and get one of these. So the last elephant in this very crowded room is my Santa Cruz Tall Boy, which is a large. And I was riding that yesterday. And look, can definitely ride both sizes. And that would be true for the Mega Tower as well. And I think for a fun bike, a bike for whipping around the flat single track, sizing down is a good idea. However, there's no denying in my mind that the extra large is a more comfortable bike for me. So I don't know what that means. I hope it doesn't mean that I've got the wrong size. I think I should be able to make it work. That's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed me jabbering on about bike fit and bike sizes. And if you agree, disagree, have a similar or different experience, drop in the comments. Let's have a chat. Thanks for watching. See you next time.